Hey, 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 welcome in everybody to the Halos in the Infield post-game show with your Anaheim Ducks, who are just as red hot as my Seahawks. Can I get a Seahawks? Boy, oh boy, what a great sports night for me as an Angels fan. You cannot really say that too often, but I will say that winning the NFC Championship on our way to the Super Bowl, and the Ducks winning their seventh straight game, including another thriller in Manila, that overtime in Calgary of all places, a comeback win against a team you should beat straight up. But who cares? A win's a win's a win, right? An overtime win. What a big victory for your Anaheim Ducks as the Ducks keep it rolling. I'll try not to brag too much because I know there's some Rams fans out there feeling a little lowly hearted at this point. And you know what? I don't care. I hate the Rams organization, McVay, Stafford, go down the line. I don't care. But I will say this right now that our time is now, man. We got to win this Super Bowl. And that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm going to try, like I said, I'm going to try not to brag, try not to boast, keep it the 100. But I just got to say one last thing. Go Hawks, baby. Go Hawks. So with that being said, I will just say, let's get into the Ducks win tonight. A big W again, 7th straight victory. And all of a sudden, after all the doom and gloom, when they went 2-9-1, something stupid like that, losers of 9 straight in a row. Guess what, folks? Ladies and gentlemen, your Anaheim Ducks are only 3 points out of first place. Yes, you heard me right. Yes, they played 3 more games in Vegas. Okay, I get it. But you're only 3 games out of first place. You're now 28-21, 59 points. You've clawed back out of the wild card, or you're still a bit in the wild card playoff standings, but it's okay. It's okay. I think Dom said it best. He says he wants to get to 61 points or 62 or 63 before we hit the whole Olympic layover. But for right now, for the Ducks to be at 59 points, you just beat Colorado, who is the best team. They only had 1 loss at home. I think Dom was having a great time with that. It is what it is, man. I mean, we got that big dub. And now all of a sudden, dude, the Ducks are looking really good. They're setting themselves up nicely after the 2-game sweep against the Kings as well. You're 4 points ahead of them. You're 4 points ahead of San Jose. You're 4 points ahead of Seattle, which you finally beat the other night. So you're 1-2 against them, but that's okay. You get the first one out of the way against Calgary. You got Edmonton, Vancouver next, and then you close it out with Vegas, and I think Vancouver one more time. So the Ducks have made up some points here, and they played really good. And again, not really like you would think that this would be the what is it called, the letdown game, because the Ducks have come off the 6 straight wins. You played really hard, like I said, against Colorado, and you thought, man, I think they're going to take an L in this one. And you know what? The Ducks should have. They got outshot 37-21. Calgary was very much alive in the zone. They were putting pressure all over the Ducks all night. And while I was watching, I had it on my phone, but come on, man, I wasn't paying too much attention to it. But I was seeing the plays in between because, hockey keeps going. Unlike football, football takes timeouts. There's incomplete passes. There's stoppages. There's far more commercials in football. So I was actually able to get most of the game. In between clinching my butt cheeks in the NFC Championship game, I was able to watch the game, and I thought this was a letdown. The first period was 2-0 Calgary. You got goals from Jonathan Huberdawa, his 9th of the year to make it 1-0. Then Hunter Breskowicz scored his first of the year to make it 2-0. Assist from Capella and Fairby. Yeah, these are household names, that's for sure. 2-0. And then, but then all of a sudden, this kid, I don't know if you've heard of him, or yet, because again, Uncle Leo's not here, Scary Terry's not here, so what do? Who's been stepping up? You could say McTavish has been stepping up, but all around stepping up and just putting boot to ass, skate to ass, whatever you want to call it, stick to face, it's been Beckett Seneca on both sides, offensively, defensively, in the forecheck and poke check, whatever check. He's checking all the boxes. That's all that matters. He's been kicking ass and taking names. Beckett Seneca has been playing out of this world good for the Ducks. And the kid just continues to amaze. He scored his 16th of the year, assists from Kilhorn and Granlund, who's been playing much better defensively too. And all of a sudden, the Ducks, they get a goal right there, and all of a sudden, it's 2-1. And then the Ducks, like at 12:41 of the second period, decided, hey, you know what? That was so much fun 9 minutes ago at the 3:22 mark. Let's run it back again. Beckett Seneca scores his 17th of the year, assist from Granlund and Kilhorn once again. So you're feeling pretty good about that going into intermission while I was, clenching my butt cheeks with the Seahawks. But then all of a sudden, here come the Ducks giving up a goal on the power play, getting a stupid penalty to put themselves in a bad position as Calgary was peppering Dostal all night. All of a sudden, on the goal, Matt Caranto scores his 14th assist from these names are crazy. Matavi Gridden and also Nazim Kadari, his 26th assists, and it's 3-2 inferior Calgary Flames. Because again, the Ducks right now are sitting 11 points ahead of them. So you should be playing good, but this felt like a letdown. Once again, third period, late in the game, past the halfway point of the third period, 13 minutes left. It's Kreider coming through with his 17th of the year, assists from Failing and Gauthier, his 23rd assist of the season. All of a sudden, it's 3-3, baby. So going to overtime, they passed the stat right there that the Ducks are 6-0 in shootouts. And halfway through the period, you're thinking the Ducks are in trouble or are in a good spot if they can get to a shootout. However, if you were watching the flow of overtime, Calgary definitely had their chances on a couple stupid turnovers by the Ducks. But for the most part, because the period only went almost 3 minutes. But for the most part, in overtime, the Ducks had possession and got off a couple really good point-blank shots that just went wide or off the stick of the goaltender, and they could have easily won right there. But they waited to get a turnover, a 2-on-1 odd man rush. Guess who had the puck at the end? Beckett Seneca with a nice wrister, assist from Jackson Lacombe, your representative for Team USA, baby, and USA, Ducks win, baby, 7 in a row.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Anaheim Ducks win. And remember, Ducks fans, to check out the Ducks post-game show on the Halos in the Infield Network with Todd and Dom. Drive home safely, and we'll see you next game.
Hell yeah. 7th win in a row, people. Ducks get it done. 7th win. I love it. Beckett Seneca is one hell of a player, and he's getting the job done in the clutch. Great stuff as usual. What's up, everybody? Daniel checking in right there. Lineman says, absolute Seneca right now. Dimitro, my man, big-time Ducks fan, says, dude, Beckett might end up better than Corey when it's all said and done. He's got a long way to go, but damn it, he's off to a great start. Then you got this Angels Fight On says, give it to them Niner fans too. I did to Carlos. I did to a lot of fans. Beating the Niners and the Rams. And then if we could beat the Patriots, exercise some demons. Exercise the demons. Boy, will I be one happy Todd Fox. Lineman says 6 points already on the road trip and a chance to pass Edmonton for second place tomorrow. The hope was for me and Dom coming into the road trip. A good road trip would have been 8 to 9 points. And the fact that Lineman points it out that we already got 6 with 3 games to play, that's ahead of schedule if you think about it, and I love it. Lineman also says this definitely was a trap game. Ducks didn't play well for most of the game, but still found a way to get that 2 points. Huge. Randy says Ducks, baby. Seneca is so damn good. 3 goals, 1 being the overtime winner, and I didn't even give him the hat trick. And you know what? Hats off to him, bro. And we're going to get into the 3 stars in a minute, but we do need a hat tricks sort of slide or something. I know it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, yeah. Demetrio says stick in the anus. There we go. Randy says the beginning of the game was frustrating as hell. We looked so sluggish. They were throwing us all over the ice. I was seriously getting fucking pissed. And you know what, Randy, that happens from time to time. That happens when certain teams just come out there with just extra moxie for whatever reason. The motivation, the food was good in pregame, and they want to stick it to you. They want to push you against the boards. They want to bully you. And hats off for the Ducks to get through that bulliness and to just the Dostal was the Dost wall, as they like to call him, as he was getting peppered. But man, the Ducks held on and got a big win. Caesar says, I got in late, so I'm playing catch up with the playback speed. Go Ducks. Way to go, Caesar. Also, Caesar also says I should hit up the live as soon as it got on. Don't worry about it. Randy says we got outshot like crazy tonight. Also, Ryan Failing is playing so freaking good. Randy says it felt like a trap game from the start. I was like, there's no way we're going to lose this fucking game. And you know what? They came through, man. Also, typical trap game. A lot of you guys are agreeing in the comments, but the Ducks didn't break. They just bend, and that's what you got to do. You got to do when you're a football team, baseball team, like they say it when we cover the Angels, right? You bend, but you don't break. You know, you may leave a few guys on, but don't give up the big inning. You know, give up a run here, run there. You keep your team in the game. Football, you give up a lot of yardage, but keep them out of the end zone. Make them kick field goals, right? The Ducks gave up a couple goals, but we've seen this, Randy. We've seen this, Caesar. We've seen this, Demetrio, all season where the Ducks can get a couple goals down, and it's not the end of the world. And they score a goal. They may give up another one. That's not the end of the world. They make the adjustments. Coach Q kind of coaches them up. All of a sudden, we're playing a tie ball game in the third period. It's anybody's game. And sometimes you win those. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you can get a pity point out of it and still look good after starting a game so bad. But I love it. I love it. Hope says, hockey! Loves it right there. Also, Brooke says, give Beckett Senate the colder now for rookie right there. Also, Ace Ventura reset right there. Yep, you're the GOAT. Thank you, sir. Todd, the new to the Duck streams is in the Golden Stamos for this. Andrew, I don't know if we're going to work the Golden Stamos, but we do have the 3 stars of the game. So let me get into that before I read Randy's right there, because I got to give it. You know who the number 1 star is. If you were watching the game at all, you knew who it was. So 3 stars tonight. You could give it to a couple Calgary Flames. As I'm looking right here, ESPN's trying to give it to 2 of the Calgary Flames. I say no. I say my 3rd star to the night is going to be Dostal, because he got peppered with 35 shots. He stopped 32 of them. Did a hell of a job tonight. And I love the fact that he hung in there. There was a couple other opportunities like he did in those shootout the other night where he just absolutely saved the game. He had every opportunity that Calgary Flames did and got so close from putting this game away. But he, again, bend but don't break. I love that comment earlier. I give him the 3rd star. Some may disagree, but I give it to him right there. And then as far as the 2nd star of the game, I'm going to think it's going to go to Matt Coronado. I'm going to agree with ESPN right here. They wanted to give it to him for a goal and assist. He had a few shots. He was instrumental in a lot of Calgary shot attempts and getting goal attempts or opportunities right there. So I will give it to him for a 2nd star. But come on. Those 2 stars, be that as it may, decent, right? But what trumps anything? What's the ace up the sleeve? What's the best thing you can offer in a hockey game for the most part? It's a hat trick. It's a goddamn hat trick. And for a 19-year-old, which I got to think I didn't see it on there, or maybe I missed it while I was watching football at the same time. I don't think there's been a younger player with a hat trick. If you can correct me in the goddamn comments, I would love to know if there's a younger hockey player to have had a hat trick in the NHL, especially a rookie. If you can give me that answer, I would appreciate it, because I know my stats for the most part, but there are some things that slip through the lines that I would not in baseball and football, because I have a deeper knowledge of those 2 sports. But I do know in hockey that this is pretty much, it's got to be a Ducks record. I don't remember all the years of me watching Ducks hockey. I don't remember a 19-year-old collecting a hat trick. So Beckett Seneca, dude, what the hell? This guy, every time we watch him on the ice, he's just getting better and better and better and better. I just, man, I love his game. I love his game that he could play both sides. He can be aggressive. He could be physical. He could be he's got some great moves like Scary Terry with putting the puck between his legs. He just got a knack for where players are on the ice. And he also just knows when to poke at the puck. And it's I know he's had a couple penalties, but they're not egregious and they're not stupid, and they happen. And for a rookie, dude, I'll take it any day because he's playing so goddamn good. So he's a hell of a player, man. I'm loving this thing. Also, let's see. You got Randy talking back and forth with fans. He also says they do all the good adjustments. We got to be better on the power play, though. You know what, Randy? That is one place where a lot of guys like Dimitro, Jesus, a lot of the regulars on here are always telling me, man, defensively, that's what scares them. Defensemen play. We've got to bulk up on the defense. We got to bulk up on and just read our assignments, play better on the ice and know the situation a little bit better. It's a little hard with rookies because you're going to get that opportunity in those time periods where it's going to be a learning curve, right? You're going to, with all this youth movement, with all the new players, with everybody trying to feel where they're at, you're going to have those lapses on defense. And it sucks. But the great ones like Dostal and other goalies in the past have been able to overcome that. He's had his bad moments this season, but for the most part, the Ducks have survived a barrage of bad defensive play. And I think that's what everyone's looking to Pat Verbeek to do. Like, don't mortgage the farm to get some experienced defensemen, but also you got to try because let's face it, dude, what opportunity have the Ducks had in the last 7 years to make the playoffs? Literally none. So this is your best chance to do it. You might want to sell a little bit of the farm, not all of the farm. You might want to get, see if you can pick up a player, not just on an expiring contract, but someone with at least a year or two experience left so that we possibly, we can get this team playing better and not only shoot for this year, but also have these players that if they do fit in the culture of what Coach Q is doing, this can advance into next season and we could further benefit from them and then maybe talk extension if they really work out. So that's where I'm kind of at. Like I've got to find the perfect trade. Like I've got to find the perfect player that'll go with the Ducks right now, because again, you don't want to mortgage a future. I've seen other teams do it. The Ducks have had to have some bad seasons to have what we have now, and we have more on the way. So yeah, be very, very bullish in your trades. Come at these trades, Pat Verbeek, if I can give you any advice with the advantage in the trade. Don't be coming there looking desperate. Please don't. Have a good poker face. Poker face. I hate that song. Seneke for the 3rd star. He's a number 1 tonight. Patrick says, congratulations to the Seahawks, Todd. I'm a crow eater when I need to be. Great game. Go. Good luck in Super Bowl 60. Balls in my mouth. Well, you know what? There are very few fans that are able to admit that, and I'm tired of being that guy, but I do like it when it comes back to me, and I do appreciate those fans that are real with it. The ones I like to talk shit with and would and never go personal, but I would go in and troll a little bit are the ones, they know who they are, that talk shit all year and then magically have disappeared in the playoffs. But yes, and I'm not trying to stray away from the Ducks, but tonight was a big night for me. Obviously, I'm wearing the Seahawks stuff, so thank you. Demetrio says Jordan Stahl for the Penguins, who was 18. Okay, thank you. See, that's the stats I don't have, Demetrio, and I appreciate that. Jordan Stahl. So I'm not too familiar with Penguin players. Is he even still in the league, or was this way back machine 18? Has it been recently? He said 2008, so he's probably not in the league anymore. So I don't think he's going to turn into the player, or that he turned into the player that like Seneca. I think a lot of us are expecting like Getzloff type feel from Seneca. At least I am. I'm thinking that dude's going to be a captain possibly at some point in his career. He could easily be one of our just best all around players, dude. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to have to get a Seneca jersey. Yeah, you are, Randy. You are. Randy says, I love how young this team is. Feels like I'm coming at the right time as a fan. I'm really enjoying hockey. Never thought I'd say that. Go Ducks, baby. And you know what? Again, to your point, Randy, I love the passion. Randy, when he's into something, he's very passionate. He's a very passionate Angels fan, despite their suckiness. He's a very passionate fan, despite his football team. And, I give him credit because, again, this is something that we all want to celebrate. We all want to be happy with. And I think we're happy with the organization right now in the direction it's going. We're happy with the ownership. We're happy with the reconstruction. We're happy with just the embracement of Anaheim, Santa Ana, SoCal, in Orange County in general. And it's something to be proud of. And like, I'm sort of in the middle. I can't, I'm still considered LA, but if I go a block over, I'm in Orange County. Like, I'm right on the fucking border. I'm like bordering 4 cities even where I live, in the most eastern part of Whittier, because I'm right next to La Mirada. With that being said, I still feel, and I've always felt more pride to the OC, always. So when the Angels made that whole stupid LA thing, I've never liked it, never embraced it, never wanted it. So the Ducks being emphatic, even with a color change, was bullish on the orange at first, but then hey, you know what it is? It's the orange web feet color, I guess. And you know it's rubbed off. I love the color. You know, I love the color. I love the logo, and it is what it is. I got a Ducks hat up there that's orange. So and I still love this because they still embrace this too. So it is what it is, man. But for right now, the Ducks are just getting it. They're playing good. And again, I think if you were following the early season post games with me and Dom, we talked about how there's going to be ebb and flows in this season. There might be a rough patch. Like the Ducks went on a long winning streak early in the season, and we felt that it's not all going to be roses and just, you know, everything's going to be great. There's going to be a time where we lose a few and it's going to be a little bit of a stretch. Just don't fall too far out of it. Don't fall too far behind. But having that massive losing streak and then turning it right around into a 7-game win streak is fucking phenomenal. So ride this wave, continue to keep it going. And man, oh man, good things are happening for your Ducks right now is again, they're 28-21 and 13 and 13 on the road. And again, if you can be, and here's the thing for new fans out there, and I think like guys like Dimitri that's followed this team like I have since day one, him a little bit more like in the stats or whatever. But the thing is, if you can win games like this or be on the road and have a 500 record or better, and then have like a 5 to 7 game over 500 at home, you're guaranteed to make the playoffs. You're guaranteed to make the playoffs. You obviously it's a head scratcher if you do make the playoffs if you're under 500 in one of those categories whether it's home or away. But if you're a few games over 500 at home and you're deadlocked, you know, you're whatever, like 20 and I don't know, maybe 18 and whatever in ties out of those games, you'll take it. Most likely you'll make the postseason like that. Or if you just have a shit ton of overtime losses like the Kings and Vegas, you're always at least recouping points to keep you in it. Because again, this team went through a pretty crazy month of December and January up into this winning streak. And now that you've won these games in a row, because you won, let's see, you had a 7-game winning streak earlier in the season in October through the early part of November. Then we had that 9-game losing streak through the end of December up until January 10th. The last loss was to Buffalo. Then you've beaten Dallas, the Kings twice, New York Rangers, Colorado in a shootout, beat Seattle straight up 4-2, and then you beat Calgary 4-3. Now we got 2 more road games right here, and actually you got 4 more games left before you go into that long break. You got at Edmonton and at Vancouver. Edmonton, now that you beat Colorado, is all gravy. If you can get a pity point out of that or a straight up victory, enormous. And then you got to get Vancouver. And if you get Vancouver, then it's again all gravy against Vegas, and you'd like to close it out strong against Seattle before opening it up against a long homestand right here. Because you start out from February 25th through March 8th, all at home, 7 games. So if you're not geeked up about Ducks hockey yet, you only got 2 more chances to watch them before they literally take a long off period, 22 days. And then, because it really is a 9-game homestand, but those 2 games have an enormous break before you play the rest of them. So they're going to be home. So after these next 2 opponents, you got a lot of time to get your tickets from 714 tickets. 714 tickets is a place to go, because if you like Ducks hockey, you like Angels baseball, you like monster trucks, you like Mana, you like anything musical, whatever. Even if you want Super Bowl tickets, all you got to do is go to 714 tickets, register on there for free, and then you purchase your tickets, put HITI in the apply now code, and you get 10% off of your tickets. So if they're $200, if you're buying expensive tickets, they're going to be 10% off, $20 back in your pocket. There's no fees, no service charges. So the price you see is the price you get. And on top of that, with your registered account, you get 5% cash back to your account towards your next purchase. So you look in there and it's like, oh, you already got credit for $7 to $10, all ready to go. So you could just, the more purchases you make, the more free tickets you get. I did it several times before we even became sponsors for 714 Tickets. Ron Holt does a good job over there at 714 Tickets. He got tickets for everything, in-state, out-of-state. It don't matter. Just look it up. It's even a place where you can get Olympic tickets. Isn't that crazy? So check that out, 714 Tickets. 714 Tickets. 714 Tickets. Let's see. Also, you got here, imagine the Anaheim Ducks of Los Angeles. Jesus says we need another forward if we're using Damon playing or Demand playing that position. Also, Caesar says still somewhat late, but don't mortgage your future like the Leafs. Did you mean? Yes, exactly. Caesar says this is not a criticism to you that said about the Ducks, but straight up criticism to the Leafs. Absolutely. And I appreciate that. Randy says my first Ducks game I watched was the Stars game. We haven't lost since I started watching. Well, you're the guy that can't change his drawers then either. Current team on the ice making it difficult for Verbeek to trade anyone. That is true because the culture is so good right now. To be honest, you said you're going to have to route patches and lose some games, and yes, rough patches, and you will, because hockey season has way too many games, and it could be such a goddamn grind at the same time. It's mathematically impossible to go undefeated. Yeah, just ask the Colorado Avalanche. Jesus says if we do make the playoffs, the team needs to be stronger on the power play. Make the trade for Panarin from the New York Rangers. That'd be a good move right there. But just to clarify though, getting to the postseason, that's where you're absolutely correct. The power play, defending it and utilizing it become so huge. I mean, extremely huge. One play, because again, in overtime tonight, you had the misplay of the puck where the two players ran into each other. I think Lacombe had to go back. It was somebody who had to come back and save the day and put the puck and poke it away at the last second because they had a breakaway. Plays like that can't happen in the postseason. Plays like that will end your season. And again, I think, like Dominic said the other night when he was hosting the show, he said, you know what? If we get to the postseason, whatever we do is gravy because it's sort of like getting your feet wet. And it is. Because this team's gonna get there. They're gonna feel the power, the energy at the Honda Center. They're gonna feel the power, the energy on the road, and they're gonna be like, "I want to experience this again. I want to play for this again." And that's playing right into what Coach Q is teaching these young kids. And I really, really think that that's gonna be instrumental for next season. But the goal is still there to get into the tournament because it's like they said. You can ride a hot goalie. Who knows? Dostal becomes the wall. And guess what? You win games on accident. So, and then on top of it, whatever you do when you get there this year, after a 7-year drought, it's all gravy. It's a learning experience. And who knows? We could shock somebody in that first round. I've watched hockey too long to see teams go into the postseason with 108 points, 112 points, 99 points, 91 points. And they get there. And I don't know what they do, but they drop the ball. It's happened in the NBA too. They drop the ball, they drop the puck, they make mistakes. All of a sudden, you give a team that shouldn't be playing for anything but pride, hope, and all of a sudden they start believing. So you give them hope, that's dangerous. You give them belief, that's on you now. Now you got to try to swing that momentum in your way. And that's where I think going into the postseason, if the Ducks get there, fingers crossed, if they keep playing good, and they get the reinforcements they need, or if this team can get healthy at the same time and they continue to glide, just get to the playoffs. It's all gravy, one game at a time, and let's see if we can pull an upset because more than likely, unless this team goes undefeated the rest of the way, which they won't, we're going to be in that wild card spot. Maybe toward the top of the wild card, but maybe we're going to be somewhere in that wild card. And if we get there, again, all bets are off. But it is all gravy. And to me, the pressure is always on that team that should have the advantage. The pressure is never on that team that's the little engine that could. If anything, you give that team an inch, they'll take a mile. And I want to take that mile. So give me that mile, damn it. And I want to see the Ducks do good in the postseason. So we'll see. Appreciate everybody saying there. Caesar's caught up. Everyone's saying preach. Not to mention that they have that farm. We know the odds of them actually getting better instead of getting worse. And that's the beauty because no matter what happens this season, no matter what happens, you can say, hey, guess what? we make the postseason. We did good. We accomplished a goal. And whether we lose in the first round, second round, whatever, we did what we had to do. We pushed a couple teams. We made it hard. We made our announcement to the league that, hey, we're dangerous. Watch out for us next year. And you're going to see a crop of free agents making that call to Anaheim and Verbeek. Whereas before, Verbeek's got to beg players to come to Anaheim. He's got to beg players to interview and all that other shit. All of a sudden now, Anaheim's going to be a place to play because we do have a lot of salary cap room. We got a lot of young talent here. This could be a destination for players like back in the day when the Ducks would get these players that would come in here and say, hey, you know what? We want to play with Getzlaff and Perry and others like that and Jaguar because we want to get to the cup because this team is on the cusp of making the cup. And like Niedermeyer's, players like that will have established, borderline Hall of Fame careers, but they haven't won that cup or they want to win another one. And Anaheim will be that team that might be in the mix. And all it takes is a couple players. So we've seen it happen. It happens a little bit faster in hockey than it does in other sports where a team can rebuild and retool and just man up and become a nuisance. And I think right now the Ducks are a nuisance to the league, and that's good. They're not established. It's going to take a little bit to establish, but they right now are a very good nuisance. And even on times where they lose, they are not a boring team to watch. You got Randy saying, I think it's because that pressure of that not many tomorrows left before you go home and watch the kids for a few months. That's true. And the Oilers game is coming up next. Everyone except Colorado looks vulnerable in the West, in my opinion. Yes, it's very, very even in the West and even in the East. I mean, you have some juggernauts there, but it can be had. From Russia, Florida, go. Hello from Russia. You know what we miss? To my Russian friend right there, which I can't even pronounce that name and I won't try. But I will say this right now. I miss Russia in the Olympics. You guys are a-holes in a good way. You make it fun, just like Canada makes it fun for the U.S. So I miss our rivals for Russia. So hurry up and stop that needless war. And let's get Russia back into the Olympics and we can get that arch rivalry going again. Caesar says, oh, yeah, we need to be realistic. The Ducks are going to lose again. It is what it is, but there's too many games. But if the team is doing good and is not on a long losing streak, it'll be fine. I totally agree, 100%. Dallas is always going to be Dallas. That can't be beaten. They are mentally weak. That's true. They kind of fall apart right there. Also, Wild ain't it. I don't see it. I agree. Vegas Marner is in the playoff aids. They ain't it either. And Vegas can be scary, though. We'll see. And Oilers do scare him there. Randy says, like the Avalanche lost to us the other night, but now it's no biggie. Imagine in the postseason, though, had we beaten them like that, we might have rattled them to where they don't play us as well. And that's true. And again, it's going to come down to a lot of these games towards the end of the season, fellas. We're going to be playing, a lot of division games, especially against the teams north of the border. And so we're going to get a good taste of them and some of the teams that could be in the playoffs, but we won't be playing some of the top teams, which unless Edmonton gets hot, that's pretty much the only other team that's going to be like above us towards the end of the season, in my opinion. So we do have an opportunity, and we'll see. Because again, this season is going to be playing out. We're going to be playing out the second half of the season now that we are, I want to say we are 52 games in. Yeah, we're 48, 49, 52 games in out of 81 game season. So the bulk of the season's done. We're almost getting to the three-quarter mark of the season. So it's time to put up or shut up if we're going to make the playoffs. And again, we're hot with 4 games left before the layover. And I just want to see how we come out of that layover. Hopefully we're focused, mentally charged, and we're ready to go for that second part of the season, which there's going to be a lot of games, a lot of back-to-backs, which scares the shit out of me, but it is what it is. Randy says, like, shit, Ducks are serious. Absolutely. Vegas did lose today, though, didn't they? Which means we should be, 2 points away from first place. Right now, currently, if I get back here to the standings, again, the Ducks are 3 points back. Vegas has played 3 less games, though, than the Ducks. So keep that in mind. They've played 3 games less. They are 25-14 and 12 overtime losses. They're sitting there at 62 points. Edmonton is 26, 19, and 8 at 60. The Ducks are 28, 21, and 3 at 59. San Jose is 26, 21, and 3 with 55 points. The Kings also have 55 points at 21, 16, 13. And then Seattle's at 55 points as well, 23, 19, and 9. This would have been a big 2 points to keep Calgary in the mix, but they are 7 points out, and Vancouver is fading fast. They're pretty much done if you think about it. They got 39 points, 16 points back. So, yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're only 3 points back of first place, and that's not bad for losing 9 straight just a couple weeks ago. The season looked like, hey, man, I think the Ducks ran out of gas. Their time isn't now, that kind of stuff. You heard it all, but right now, it's looking back up again for us right now. Real quickly, I'll just go over the other standings. Detroit Red Wings have 69 points. They are in first place over Tampa by 1. The Sabres of all teams, who has sucked for a long time. The Sabres, I think, are going to break their playoff streak. They're at 63 points, only 5 points back, along with the Montreal Canadiens. Boston Bruins are 62 points, and the Florida Panthers have 59. Maple Leafs have 57, and Ottawa at 55. So you have some team at the bottom right there in that Atlantic division that are fairly decent, although their record says otherwise. They're all have winning records, which is weird. You got 32 and 16, 32 and 14, 29 and 17, 20 and 17, 30 and 20, 20 and 20. Basically, everyone's over 500. And then you get over to the Metropolitan Division. Right now, the class of that division, it also has 69 points. That's the Hurricanes. Penguins are right behind them at 63. And then you got the Islanders at 57. Then you have a bunch of teams around 57 to 55 points. In the Central and the Western Conference, you got the cream of the crop, and that is the Colorado Avalanche, 35 and 6, who we beat the other day, 79 points. They are ahead of the Wild by 11 and the Stars by 12. And then you got the Mammoth down there pretty much out of that race right there at 58. Pacific Division has the Golden Knights, like I said, at 62. Edmonton, 60. The Ducks, your Ducks, are only 3 back. Nico says right here, massive news for the unemployed. Josh Allen was traded for Ben Simmons and 2 second-round draft picks. That is massive news if it were real, but 2 different sports. So with that being said, yes again, the Ducks win. Ducks win. Let's play this one more time. Before we get out of here, we gave you the 3 stars. Hell yeah, Ducks win.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Anaheim Ducks win. And remember, Ducks fans, to check out the Ducks post-game show on the Halos in the Infield Network with Todd and Don. Drive home safely, and we'll see you next game.
And you know what, Randy? Good one right there. The Hoser Award. I'm going to give this to a non-hockey player. I'm going to stick to because it's just a crazy night tonight. Now, usually the Hoser night of the Hoser Award of the night goes to the worst hockey player on the ice. And I'm gonna pivot from that for a second because I'm still in disbelief, not disbelief, but just on a high that the Seahawks won and are back in the Super Bowl. I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna give the Hoser Award to a couple of my workmates, a couple of people that I know that that are supposedly good friends, but have disrespected my team all year and have called them the Sea Chickens, which to me I think is the dumbest, lamest, like trying to get under my skin. Like I can't even think of the word right now, but it's so stupid. Like they think it affects me. They're like, hey, the Sea Chickens, hey, the Sea Chickens. I'm like, fuck that, dude. I'm like, you're the one that has on the Ram logo. If you've seen the Rams logo where it shows the face, look closely at the nose. It resembles a penis. I'm like, how can you be making fun of my Sea Chickens when you have a penis on your logo? So, and then they say, well, why you look at it? Well, why you have it on your logo? So we went back and forth like that all year. They don't give respect, but there are some Ram fans like Ram Fandan and others that do congratulate and stuff like that. So I appreciate that. So I knew the same thing happened back in the day when the Ducks went to the Stanley Cup Finals, I believe in 2003, lost to the Devils in a heartbreaker. I still would have loved to this day for them to win that Stanley Cup, beating that freaking goalie and just winning with the boys in those old logos. I know Solani was able to win the cup a few years later in 07, I believe. But man, I really wanted that first cup, man. That would have been awesome because back then the Kings fans were, giving it to us and talking shit and saying the quack is whack. I still hear that. And they kind of chant that, or the Ducks suck one hurts more than the quack is whack. The quack is whack is more like, really? That's the best you got? Sort of like the Sea Chickens. I think it's pretty stupid, but that's what they do. And since then, the Ducks winning the Stanley Cup there, they've, the Kings have won 2 straight. So at some point in the next 5 years, I want to see Beckett Seneca and McQueen and others, along with Carlson, Scary Terry, and if Dostal's still the goalie, hoisting that cup and the parade at Disneyland and down Catella. Oh my gosh. I mean, again, it's a long time coming. And who would have thought? My last thing to say about tonight is, who would have thought as a Ducks fan, when you first became a Ducks fan way back in the day, that hockey number one would be this popular on the West Coast? And you got to go back to Gretzky and give him his flowers, and Robitaille and all those other guys that came over here, Yari Curry and Kelly Rudy and all those guys, Barry Melrose. The Kings started it, yes, but West Coast hockey was not a thing. The Kings had been around forever. Disney made the movie, inspired the team, made it happen, had some good years. The Paul Kariya, Solani, Getzlaff, Perry, all those players that have come through here. So so for me, I can't wait to see them hoist the cup again. I have a feeling it's going to happen. I have a feeling, like Dominic said a couple of weeks ago, that this could be an opening to the window. And these players, as they get better, could be pushing that window higher and higher, giving us a better opportunity. And crazier things have happened in the NHL. So on nights like this where you win when you're not supposed to win, that's a sign of a good team. And the fact that they're this young should scare some other teams in that division. It really should. And I like being a nuisance. I like being annoying. And I like being that little asshole team that thinks they can. Because if we're that little asshole team that thinks we can and gets into the postseason and starts poking the bear, and the bear doesn't have a good right hook back, we can withstand it. Watch out. Just watch out. Anything can happen. So enjoy the win tonight. It's doubly fantastic for myself. I love the winning the NFC Championship game and getting there, but winning is also good in hockey as they get an overtime win, 7th straight win. So from Russia, Utah is a good team on the rise. There you go right there. Jesus says it's Seagulls. Let's go New England. Whatever. Let's go Hawks, baby. Let's see. Won a cup before the Queens. Yes, he did. Also, congratulations, Scold. Shout out right there to Carlos. He's taken a lot of crap from me in the past, and I've taken a lot of crap from him. So hats off to him. That's a real fan right there. Go check out. If you like Madden football at all, he streams the best streams right there, and he takes challengers. He's a kick-ass dude on there. Carlos is on the Vikes right there. So with that being said, everybody, have a good rest of your night. The Ducks win. This is where you can catch every game, whether it's myself or Dominique flying solo, or we fly together as one and do a twofer on a show. We will be back here on their next game against Edmonton. So stay tuned for that as we're closing out the first half of the season, headed for the Olympic break. Go Ducks. We fly together, baby. Ducks win. Ducks win.